everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered podcast, where we like to chat about all things challenge. And we are back again to break down the most recent episode of MTV's Challenge Season 39, Battle for a New Champion, Episode 5, titled Countdown to Chaos.
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 I was ready for some chaos, not gonna lie.
And apparently so was production. They pushed to it ASAP.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. So obviously this episode opens up like they all do, where we're returning from the most recent elimination. As a reminder, Kyland won, sending home our favorite Irish challenger, the one and only Huey. Sad face.
Yeah.
And that evening, the chaos clock reads 13 hours before total insanity.
So ominous.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like the end of the world is coming.
I know. The zombies. Must be prepared. People are trying to figure out what chaos means. Pre-scheming commences. Because that's all these people do. They just talk about the what ifs.
Right.
They're like the ultimate conspiracy theorists who are never correct. It's just, which I love a good conspiracy theory, so I'd probably be all over that house like, oh my god, I feel like it's Game of Thrones again, where we're talking about all the things that could happen and none of it actually transpires, but at least we're entertained. These alliances are filled with people, like when they're all talking about the alliances they have, it's like 75% of the fucking cast in the alliance, and I'm like,
right,
okay. So everybody, and then we see Siren showing Zara how to box. I thought that was pretty cute. I don't know why she's learning to box, but hey, this is a good exercise.
Why
good
not?
Outlet, And then it jumps right to the next daily, and we're gonna find out what chaos really means, or at least part of it. So TJ tells them chaos is now going to ensue. And every daily is going to be different. Sometimes you'll be on your own. Sometimes you'll have partners. And sometimes you may even have teams. And today, it's partners. Randomly selected, which I like, actually.
Yeah, same.
I like random. And, they should too, because it allows them to kind of fly under the radar so they don't show all their cards and go, oh, I wanted to be with this person and blah, 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 blah. So TJ tells them, it could change regularly. Could there be more chaos to come? We don't know. It's a challenge. There's always a twist. The daily consists of them being strapped to a moving apparatus on the side of a truck. They have to grab these giant hula hoop looking things and try and toss them on these poles that are on the ground as they are moving. If they get a hoop on a pole, it's 10 points. If they land in some of the random yellow target areas, they get 5 points.
How did y'all feel about this one? I liked it.
I liked it
too. I thought it was different.
Yeah.
I was scared doing that because I don't like heights as it is, and just you're on that moving,
and you're strapped to it.
I don't like heights at all, but for some reason the semi challenges, I just want to do all of them. Like where they're jumping from one to the other or whatever. I don't know. That looks fun. I'd probably shit my pants and pass out if I actually got there, but I think I want to do it.
Would you for the yellow area, or would you try to get it on the pole? I think I would just play it safe and just throw it in the yellow area. Just
on the yellow.
Yeah.
See, I would have gone for more points.
People started doing that. They would just drop whole piles of them, on the yellow.
Yeah, a lot of these teams shit the bed. Even after watching, 8 other teams go ahead of them, and they would do the exact same shit. Michelle and Asif, I give a little bit of a pass because they're the first team.
They're first, right?
The first team is always a disadvantage because you have no idea how it's actually going to play out, and everybody gets to watch your mistakes and improve from it. So they kind of shit the bed. I think they get a couple points, they get a couple hoops in on a pole and in the yellow area. But like I said, most of them shit the bed. The guys were grabbing armfuls of hoops and dropping it on the second thing and completely missing the pole. Like Emmanuel took all the hoops. Berna got one.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just swinging here doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was harder than it seemed.
Oh,
So,
I believe that. I believe it
yeah.
was definitely harder than it looked.
Oh,
Like,
I believe it. I believe, like, as far as you know, it was probably throwing them off their equilibrium. They're kind of going backwards and upside down, trying
Right.
to toss hoop. But like, you would think again, after the sixth team who tried to throw all their hoops on the second pole, you would instinctively only try a few for the first few poles so you could try to get your rhythm. And then when the ones with the yellow area come up, that's when you dump. So if you don't hit the
Drop
pole,
them,
you
right.
can at least hit the yellow and get some points. Nope, we're just going to try it right out the gate. Just dump them all. Oh shit, we missed it.
and
There
I
was
guess the
only
other
like
thing, I guess
3
the
or
other
4
thing
teams.
is like when you look at it, you're also trying to communicate with your partner at the same time. And you're knowing
Yeah.
them, they're probably like shouting because the truck is moving so often, right? I
Yeah.
don't think you'll be able to like hear your partner 100%
No.
either.
I don't think anybody got a full sentence out,
Except
to be
maybe
honest with
Berna.
you.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Only 3 teams actually did pretty decently. Corey and Raven, Nerys and James. Nerys did really well.
He
Like
did really well.
Yeah,
she probably did the best of
surprised
all
me.
the women.
Right.
And then Horacio and Big T, mostly thanks to Horacio.
Yeah.
Big T was
I
like, it's
expected that.
okay, I'm fine with it.
I love
And
Horacio. He's so awesome.
I do too. He's so cute. He's such a cutie patootie.
Nice guy.
And in the end, Corey and Raven are the ones who win because Corey, I think it was right around, it was close to like one of the third or fourth pole. He manages, and it helps that he's tall, so he's got long arms.
Yeah, his long
He just
arms,
like
right.
dumps like 8 hoops. It's so hard that the pole tips over.
Right.
I mean,
See, this is where I was wondering. I'm like, was he lucky when he did this, or was he just that skilled because he made it fall? Because everybody else is dropping it, right?
yeah, I think
think
he just got the timing just right for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, he, like his what do you call it, wingspan or whatever, was longer than everybody else's, so it probably
Yeah.
made it a little bit easier. I think it's funny if people were like, "Hey, what's your like party trick?" Oh, I can spin around on a truck and
Drop some hoops on a pole.
drop hoops on poles, right?
What's hilarious is, wasn't he the one saying in the beginning where he's like, "Oh, it involves this, it involves heights and all this stuff that
Yeah.
I'm not really good at," and he ends up
Yep.
winning. I'm like, okay.
All the stuff he doesn't like, it involved pretty much. So,
But that could happen because it's like you have to go into fight or flight mode, and obviously he can't fly away. So it's like your brain like goes into autopilot mode and just you stop overthinking.
That was like
Yeah.
Michaela in the USA season, right? She
Right.
ended up having like that. What was that daily again? It was like they were walking up in the air, and like she was like nervous and whatever. Even Bananas pointed it out, and then he goes, "She was so nervous, but look how quick she got over the beam or something." And I was like, "Yeah, this is what Corey Lay did to this week."
yeah.
Yep, exactly. I completely agree. And I'm pretty excited. Corey and Raven winning. Corey's like, oh my God, it's my first challenge win because first season I was on, didn't win any dailies, went into elimination like every fucking time. I think it's Raven's second win. It's her second or third? Second? I mean, obviously her and Johnny
right?
won.
For a daily, wasn't this her?
It's at least her second, if not her third.
Two or
I don't
three.
remember if her and Johnny won once or twice on Ride or Dies. I know they won the first daily of that season. So now TJ announces there's a twist because this is chaos. Come on down, Corey and Raven. Stand in front of me. Oh, and while you're here right now, pick a guy to go into the arena. Right now.
Yeah.
And they're like,
oh. Okay, then.
So
what?
I was gonna say this is where Corey Lay lost me, but it wasn't exactly here. This was just the start of it. And I know y'all love him, and I do too. I like him too. but I thought he was a shady, snaky person this episode. I didn't like it.
Tia, here's the
What?
thing. You would think that I would disagree. I actually agree with you. And here's why.
I guess we should tell people what he did before
Yeah, like
we just
I'll
go
get
on.
into it. I'll just say the only reason I agree is because of the way things played out. He just seemed too defensive. But
Yeah,
I'll get more into it after the explanation of what happened first.
yeah, okay.
So after however long they actually deliberated, of all the guys, which I think they only had what, 8 options, 9
Mhm.
options, they pick Asif, who is very
His
unhappy.
best friend.
Mhm.
He's very unhappy about this development. Some of the other guys are shocked. Jay is pissed because he's close with Asif. And I guess, people in his alliance are thinking he should have picked someone that was more solidly on the UK side, like James or Kieran or Callum. How the fuck Callum keeps slipping under the radar is beyond me. It's got to be because he's dicking
Right?
down Michelle. It's got to be.
Oh, it has to be. Totally
It has
agree.
to be. This man hasn't done jack shit in a single challenge, and yet they keep skipping over him. So Callum, James, Kieran, that it? Am I
Pretty
missing
much.
somebody? Oh, Emmanuel. Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they should have put him
The Wish
Creeps
Jordan
me.
just keeps blending into the wall.
Somebody said he has even been downgraded from Wish to Timu.
in.
Saw that today.
I think Timu is better than Wish, from what I've heard.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's
because
what
I
I've
called
been told.
He said
Oh.
Timu slash.
version of Jordan, and then and I was like, or should I say the Timu version? And then I think it was Richie. He commented, and he was like, if anything, Timu has better stuff than Wish does. So he's still the
That's
Wish.
what I've heard. I've never
Okay.
ordered from
We'll just
either,
keep
but
it.
Yeah, same either.
yeah.
I said-
Yeah.
I said this earlier because y'all know I've always called him chiclet teeth. Well, he got his teeth fixed. So I was always creeped out by his teeth. So I figured if he got it fixed, it would make him not creepy. Nope. I realized it's his actual, he has like dead, soulless eyes.
yeah.
That's what makes him creepy. It's his teeth and his dead eyes.
Matt said the same thing.
To be fair, he did say
See?
he was like a vampire, right? So I
Yeah,
just
he's
vampire
Vladimir
Jordan.
the Impaler reincarnated, as far as I'm concerned.
Whatever. There's all kind of hot, awesome vampires. He's not one of them.
They don't all have to be hot and awesome. You gotta have a
He's
base
not.
starting point somewhere.
It creeps me out.
No, I completely understand. So who would you have picked if you were in Corey's position of the available guys?
Well,
Callum.
so let me ask you this. So you have basically the UK versus America, right? So if you're Corey, technically you're going to pick a UK person because you're supposedly in an alliance with the Americans. Yeah.
You would think.
Okay. Asif is on the American side. Yeah. Am I wrong about that?
I think he is.
Right. So why would you pick him?
Because he's messy. Corey's messy.
Yeah, but Corey picks him, and then when Asif's mad, he like, oh, I'm the victim here. No, you're not. You were shady. Just own it.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank
Yeah. Don't be a bitch and cry to Michelle about it. No, we'll get to that in a minute too.
I
I
would
was
have picked
not a fan of
Callum.
Corey this episode.
I would have picked Callum.
Yeah, I would have picked Callum.
I was a little surprised that he picked Asif because, like, even though Asif may be at the bottom of the alliance ladder, he's still there. He's still on
He's
the
a
alliance
number.
ladder. He's still a
Yeah.
number. So I don't know if he just had established better relationships with the UK guys, so that's why he didn't want to vote any of them in on a personal level. I don't know. It's a very rookie mistake. I think he realizes that, judging by his social media posts. But even though it was a little shady and he got a little dramatic afterwards, Asaph was definitely dramatic. You are
Oh,
my
he was.
best friend.
Absolutely.
I met you 2 weeks ago.
I had to
Even-
stop it and pause it
He's
because I was
even posting
laughing.
videos. I don't know. I've seen it on Twitter of like him crying. He's like, "What one thing you don't do is backstab me" or something like that. And everybody's just like retweeting it, saying nobody cares. Like,
Right. And
just
like
crying all over everything.
I could understand if it was Jay that did what Corey did, because him and Asaph and Jay have
Right.
like a real friendship outside of that. But you literally met Corey 2 weeks ago. It's like the male version of Berna.
But I feel like,
Yeah.
yes, everybody is a bunch of crying babies, but still feel like if that's your alliance, why would you go against
Oh yeah, no, I agree
your
with you on
supposed
that.
alliance when you're just gonna piss off that whole entire
Too soon.
team and nobody's gonna trust you?
Yeah.
Which we
No,
see
I
with
don't
Michelle.
disagree.
Now Michelle's pissed.
Well, because Michelle is a drama, like holy drama.
Everybody's
Batman.
a drama king or queen. The
She
whole show
fucking-
is.
She just started spiraling. Oh my God, what if I have to go into elimination? And they're all like, he said a man. He said a man. Well, you don't know. And I'm partnered in. Like, she had a fucking meltdown spiral, which she has copped to.
I actually wish there had been some weird twist that she had to go in.
That would have been so
It would have
funny.
been worth seeing her.
I feel like
meltdown.
the only non-drama person in the house is like Colleen. Maybe.
Colleen. And that's why we
Yeah.
don't see her.
Yeah.
But this is where I find it interesting. Like, they're complaining about all this stuff, but they don't know, number one, if it's going to happen in the first place. Two, normally when TJ has a twist, he'll be like, by the way, and then he'll say what the twist is. Usually that's what happens. All he said was, it's a guy's day. Normally, if he
Yeah.
says something like it's going to be men and women, he'll say something like it's a double elimination. And then that's when you'll know, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, but it's chaos, so you don't know what he's going to say.
Which is
True,
true.
too.
But is
Yeah.
it worth all that stress to the point where Michelle
And
was
energy you
crying
got to
like that?
put into, because
not
like, what
worth
if she
it.
would have had to
Um,
go in?
But doesn't Michelle do that every season?
Yes, it's annoying.
True, but that's not the problem.
She needs
The
some
problem is
Xanax while
to
she's on the show.
realize
She totally needs Xanax.
She or
too
some
much
pot,
into it.
something.
she's putting too much energy into worrying about the elimination. It's like, Michelle, you've
Yeah.
been doing this for a while.
But again, she does that every season.
I know.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
like her.
It's
That's like her
she
MO.
does.
That's what she
She
does.
is her own worst enemy.
But
Yeah,
I
she
love
does.
Michelle though, just so we're
I
clear.
do too.
Love
I do
Michelle.
too. I loved her on Survivor.
So it's like, that's why it
I
bothers
do
me.
really
Like,
her.
Michelle, come on. You know better than this.
Get it together, woman.
She lost her fucking mind.
But
So we get
as
back to
far
the
as
house. Zara, is the one comforting Raven and Corey. She's really trying to lift their spirits. And I'm like, oh yeah, your bestie's with him now.
Right.
Because you're not going in. And TJ does also tell them, I skipped this part, after Asaph is chosen, that the house will have to deliberate on a second guy to vote into the arena. So again, only talking about the guys.
Yeah.
So we do get to club night. Asaph is still really broody and moody. I just love how annoyed these people get when they have to possibly go into elimination. Like, it's the name of the game. And then I wrote a little note. I was like, Colleen is so cute. Like, when she was like standing there talking to like Raven and whomever. But I just need someone to like talk to her so she can get more camera time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
just
like
feel like
her.
she's right there just smiling like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like,
We
I
had
want to
that
see
somebody.
more of her.
We had that somebody doing that. That was Berna before.
Well, no, Berna just talked at her and said, I
Exactly.
don't
That's
want your opinion. I just want you to shut up and listen. And she was like, okay. Like, then go into the confessional room. Like, leave me out of this. And then we get to see the start of Nerys and Horacio. And can we talk about Olivia's confessional?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Just like
weird
they've
to
known
me.
each other forever. You would think that the spark would have been there or whatever.
That was weird. I was like,
It was a
why'd you say
weird
that?
confessional.
Yeah.
Why did you
It's
say it like that,
weird.
Olivia? Why?
I always
It-
thought Olivia and Rossio would be together. Like, I just feel like they had that chemistry. Like, I don't know, just like watching them, I just feel like after the show that they would have been something. But maybe she does like him and she's a little bit jealous. Or maybe she's just worried, like, because her and Rossio are like best friends. Maybe she's just like, oh, maybe she's gonna take my place. I think that's where the energy is
I
probably.
Maybe.
I took it like, and I still worry about this, that Nerys is going to hurt him, and
I was
didn't
gonna say that.
yeah, I don't see, I never saw Olivia and Horacio. I looked at them as more like a brother sister,
Yeah.
you know,
Same.
and I think that I love Nerys, don't get me wrong, but I mean, she's a player and Horacio is a sweetheart. So we don't want, I don't know. That's how I took it. I think she doesn't want him to get hurt. So,
I think Jay, his confessional was
Yeah.
very good on that. It really explained it. It's like, you know how she is. Like, watch yourself, guy. And I'm like,
exactly.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't like comment on it, like Jay's confessional. Like she didn't even comment on it because usually like she'll comment on
Yeah.
stuff because the whole Olivia thing. She commented on that, but Jay's she didn't say nothing. So maybe she knows herself. Like that's
Wait,
what
what
I'm.
did
Yeah.
she say about what Olivia said?
I can't really remember. It was just like on Twitter, but there was like a whole big fight about it. Like it was her and like Mariah like tweeting back and forth about the
Oh,
whole.
I
Oh,
remember
that
that.
thing.
That was about
Yeah.
that confessional?
I thought
That's
it was
what
about
started
something
it?
else.
No,
I think
did Nerys say anything about the confessional Olivia gave today or
Oh no,
yesterday's episode?
she didn't do it
Yeah.
because she.
Yeah,
I
But
don't
she
feel like it was shady though. I
I don't
mean,
think it was shady, but it was like the way that it came across is almost like she's suspicious
Yeah.
yeah.
of true intentions. Like, you guys didn't have chemistry before, but now
Right.
all of a sudden you're into him. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
like, why is it that?
interesting. That's
Yeah.
how it kind of read to me. But she was like, obviously, production asked her how she felt about it because she's like
Right.
besties with Horacio and Nerys. And I think she was trying to give like a diplomatic answer, but a little bit of I think how she really feels about it came out through it was just the way she said it. Like
Yeah. No,
it
I
was weird.
totally get that.
It was definitely
Yeah.
weird. But we do see the start of it. Jay's confessional, I was like, this man is right.
Yep.
He is accurate. Like, don't you hurt my friend, man. Like Horacio he's our baby. He's a little baby.
I don't know which post this was, but it was on Twitter. And it showed like Nerys with like a shirt that said, I love to make guys cry or something like that. And somebody I think used it in their post, and I was like, oh, I don't even remember this. I didn't even remember she had a shirt or anything that said that. But
Like
now
on
it
the
made me think.
show or
Yeah, it was like on the challenge. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
like
it was
Ah.
in that one scene. I want to say it was episode either 2 or 3 when it was like
Mm.
the I'm
This
besties
season.
with Olivia clip.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
this season.
And she
Oh,
like
good.
showed her shirt to Olivia and she's like, isn't this a cute shirt? Ha ha, ha. Yeah, I remember.
Wow,
that.
I must have just like blanked that out. I
It
don't
was
remember seeing
like
that.
I said episode 2 or 3 when they had a
Yeah.
little segment where Nerys was like, oh my god, I love Olivia, we're like best friends, we hang out all the time, and I was like, oh, this is very foreshadowy.
Mhm.
This can't be good.
After all of that though, they're the most beautiful couple.
I mean, they are gorgeous.
Yeah,
They would make beautiful babies if they ever went that route for sure.
that is true.
So also at the club we have Corey talking with Michelle, and I said he explains to her dramatic ass, like we kind of already talked about, that he wasn't thinking about, oh, what if the women could be affected when TJ said what he said. We all have to remember most of these people have never played more than one season. And if they were
That
on
is
one
true.
season, most of them didn't get very far.
Fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
You know, somebody like
Yeah.
Michelle, however, has done 4 or 5 of these shows back to back. Yeah, she's going to be a little bit more versed in trying to think outside the box. Corey's like, bro, I lasted 4 episodes and I was the target every single time.
Which is fair.
Like I am like a brand new baby and I have no control over this and I don't do well when I don't know what to expect. And I'm like, you know what? I feel that. I feel that.
And you know
I
what?
don't like being out of control.
Being put on the spot like that too,
Yeah.
you're gonna make a mistake because we've seen it even with like trivia challenges.
Mm-hmm.
right? They'll know the answer, but when they have to answer it and they're put on the spot, they freeze.
Such as Dutch is the official language of Australia.
Apparently, according to the great Johnny
According
Bananas.
to Bananas.
I don't think I would freeze though and pick someone that's supposedly my friend
Yeah,
in
I agree with you
alliance.
too. I'm not saying like
You know?
that Corey was right to pick Asa.
And you have Raven there who was like, you sure about that?
Well,
Which I
she
agree
went
with her
along
too.
with it.
I don't like her.
Because she sure as shit
No.
wasn't going to try a UK guy because she's getting dicked down by Kieran.
Okay, so can I ask y'all this? Did somebody posted, I guess he did an interview. So was he just with her just to be on the show to just bang someone?
It's probably
Is that-
just a showman's.
I feel like
Because
that's
she
how I
said
took it. Like he was
I remember seeing something where she said that he wasn't her usual type. And
right,
she just
but it sounds like she
was
wasn't his type either, is how I took it. I don't know. I'd have to go back and like listen or read what was said.
I mean, I don't know how you go from making out with Huey to making out with Raven. That's a huge spectrum of type. But I don't know.
It just looked like they were vibing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, and I'm sure in that house, I think everybody in that house, for the most part, with the exception of like Asif and Ed, we're all single.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Jay had a girlfriend by this point off the show. But everybody else was single. So you got a house of 20 plus young adults who love being naked and
horny people.
Horny, and you're the only ones each other can see. You'll dick down with anybody who bats their eyes at you the correct way, even if you wouldn't normally do that in real life. Which is why most of these showmances don't last outside the show.
That is
because
true.
they realize I don't actually like you. So Michelle continues her spiral. She refuses to. She's like, "Oh my god, Corey! Oh my god!" And he's like, "Michelle, I would never do that to you on purpose. I didn't fucking think. I'm sorry. Like, I just heard man, and that's all I thought about. Whatever. She'll get over it."
Do we believe that?
I do believe that he did not think about how the female partners could be affected when TJ said pick a man, because I didn't even think about that when he said it.
Yeah,
because
I see that too.
They didn't even say how long you had to be in a partnership for either.
Right.
Well, at least that we didn't see. Who knows what the fuck they actually told them. You know, then they're back from the club. Emmanuel's trying to make more friends because he doesn't want to get nominated. Melissa doesn't buy his bullshit. She's like, "Are you just trying to be nice because you don't want me to nominate you tomorrow?" And he's like, "No." Yes. And then Asaph tells all his friends that he wants Kieran to be the house vote. Again, how is Callum getting a free pass?
Yeah, totally agree. But you were right. It's Michelle.
It's Michelle. So Asaph has this thing where he wants to face whom he thinks is the best of the best. And I'm just like, all right, bro. Whatever you want.
If he wanted to go against the best, it would be, to me, Horacio.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to pick somebody on the US side. So,
right.
I guess on the UK side, it would be Emmanuel, actually, in my opinion. It would be Emmanuel.
That's what got me mad, too. I'm like, y'all are not looking at Emmanuel right there. Like,
yeah.
he's so underrated.
I feel like Kieran, though, was in that aspect was a good choice. I mean, dude came in
not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good choice, but I was like, Emmanuel's kind of just in the background.
He's floating by, which is dangerous for everybody else. Because
he's decent.
Not someone to sleep on at all. And then can we just laugh at the foreshadowing during Raven and Kieran's conversation about if Horacio is a strong player? Raven's like, he beat Jordan in a ball's in, and Kieran's like, who the fuck is Jordan? And Raven's like, oh, just a really good player. Ha ha ha. He's just like won a few times. You know, that's all.
I mean, we talked about this before. If it was me, I would be watching every single episode that has ever been on before I went on the show. That's
Mhm.
just me.
Or if
Especially if
not,
you're
read
going
about
on
it.
the main version.
Right?
Like you did your country's version. You know what it's about. If you then knew I'm going on the mothership show, let me at least watch the last couple seasons.
If
Let me at
nothing
least
else,
read some spoilers.
if nothing else, Jordan won the
World
world.
champion.
Which is where I was so confused. I'm like, how do you not know Jordan? He won with Kaz. Like, what?
Though
Exactly.
did they? But you know what? I think they were filming 39 when World was airing. But either way, somebody should have fucking told him.
Were they?
You mean to tell me Zara didn't be like, dude, oh my God, let me tell you about this guy that won Worlds. Because I'm sure Kieran was probably, might have been up in the air to be on Worlds. I don't remember, but I feel like
Yeah.
yes. Hang on 1 second. The dog is drinking too much water.
Regardless, go back and watch episodes to see who's who and what's up.
From what I remember, Kieran did say, I think in one of those interviews he did, he said something about watching, I think it was like a YouTube video or something, and it was like the history of the challenge, and I think it mentioned a lot about CT. And he said
Yeah.
something
Well,
like, so he
I
said
read
something
that
like,
too.
oh, I wouldn't want to face CT.
Oh,
Right?
nobody would.
Right. But he knew about CT, but he didn't check anybody else. And I think he
Right.
probably regretted that now in hindsight.
Yeah, as he should. I'm sure he definitely did on that plane ride home.
Mhm.
So let's see. Corey then confides in James because he's starting to feel iced out from his own alliances. And then Asif is just really coming for Corey. I mean, at the deliberation, he's like asking everybody, do you think you're closer with me or him? And I'm like, this has nothing to do with how close you are with other people. If Corey doesn't feel as close to you as he does with others, your relationship with those others has nothing to do with you. That's my only defense of Corey.
When
I
he asked
agree.
those questions, I was thinking, oh no, another Chauncey.
I did
Oh,
too.
here we go.
I was like, wait a second.
Nobody
He was-
has learned to shut up during deliberations.
That's probably what he was trying to do, was just like get Corey to be thrown under the bus, just so they would, you know, like nominate him next.
Mm-hmm.
Back.
Exactly. I agree. And then, Raven defends Corey and she's like, it was mutual. It wasn't just all him. I obviously had to agree to it. Here comes the best friend thing again. Corey's like, dude, I didn't even know you before this season. Michelle is still sweating that women partners may be thrown in too. So she's like throwing a temper tantrum about that. And then Asif just comes out and says he wants Kieran. And Kieran's like,
What the heck?
no. What do you mean? I don't want to go in. So Big T, Melissa, Zara, Mariah vote for Emmanuel because they're the only ones he apparently can't float by. And everybody else votes for Kieran.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's me. Here we go. I'll just make myself an even 10 by voting for me. And now,
I mean, at that point, you're not going to win it. You might as well.
Yeah, like fuck it. I've already got 10 out of 19 people with, what else am I gonna do? So now it's time for our elimination. Asif and Kieran come down to the arena floor and they're ready. And TJ goes, but wait, there's a twist because this is chaos. In order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. Dun, dun, dun. A door slides open, smoke billows out. And who is it but Jordan? Hey, Kieran, it's Jordan. This is who we were talking about. Shake his good hand.
That would have been funny if Raven had yelled that out. Hey, that's the guy. That's
Kieran,
him.
that's Jordan. And then Kieran could be like,
Oh crap.
oh shit.
I'm not gonna lie, I got excited. I was like, yeah.
It was fun. And seeing like all the people up top were like rooting, and Michelle's like, oh thank God he's by himself. That means no women. Woo, I can enjoy it
Right.
now. I'm no longer Tornado Michelle. And TJ explains how this is going to work. So Kieran and Asa basically have to face a draw where Jordan has to pull a stick out of whatever. There's one of three options. Two of the three have one of their names. The third one has, we have no idea. I'm going to guess.
What do you think was
Champ's choice?
That's what
Yeah,
I was thinking.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Where they could choose either of the two or even any other
Anybody else?
person that isn't safe. That's what I think.
It makes it more interesting.
It does.
I like
because it could really change up the game.
That's
like-
what I was thinking and hoping it was. Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved if he would have pulled the Champ's choice. Then I wonder
Oh,
who he would have
I
picked.
know.
Oh, he probably would have picked. Do you think he would have picked Horacio if he would have picked
Yes.
Champ's choice? Just be like, let's try this again.
Probably.
I got nothing to lose. Not really. Let's just try
He'd be
this
like,
again.
yeah, he'd be like, I want to get my lick back. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
Right?
give this a whirl. Let's see if 2 times, if you can go 2 for 2 with me. So TJ tells Jordan, if Jordan wins and sends the competitor home, Jordan gets to take home $10,000, which gets taken out of the main pot for the other cast. So they would go from $406,000 to $396,000. And if Kieran wins, the money stays in the pot.
Well, so let me ask you this real quick. If Jordan had drawn the other one and he picked Horacio and they did that challenge, who do you think would have won? It's tough, yeah? They're
Mhm.
both so good.
Because Horacio has that. He has
stamina.
serious endurance because he plays soccer.
Right.
See, but then I don't know if you're catching up on this stuff, but Syrian did like an interview and he was trying to say like that Jordan like threw a fit, I guess. Like that's what everybody's saying on like Twitter, that Jordan threw a fit, I guess, because he was slipping or something, like with his shoes. And that's why like he started off with these black shoes and now he has yellow shoes on. So
Well, he
was-
came out in yellow
It looked
shoes.
like he had socks on. I
Yeah.
didn't think he had
So
shoes
if
on.
so obviously he picks Kieran's name. Asaph is safe. Corey's like, fuck. Asaph's like, oh, I really wanted the opportunity. But at the same time, he's probably like, thank God. Kieran's like, motherfucker, I don't even want to fucking be down here. I can't believe this. Like, talk about foreshadowing. TJ explains we're basically playing King on the Hill or King of the Hill.
Yeah.
There's 2 platforms. There's 3 lights on each platform. They tell us 3 rounds. Turns out it was actually 5, which I'm going to get into about that. And they have to hit as many of the lights within 1 minute. Each light is a point. Whoever wins the most rounds wins the elimination. So Jordan comes out, because I've watched this twice. Obviously, I watched it last night and then today to take notes. He's wearing yellow shoes when he comes out and is standing next to me.
Yep.
He's wearing yellow shoes when he starts round 1. But like partway through round 1, he goes from yellow shoes, and I looked closely, he has no shoes on. He's wearing socks. He's doing this elimination in socks, which makes me wonder if he did all of the actual round 1 with the shoes on, threw a fit about the shoes, and then in round 2 took them off, because we also found out, like Caitlin was saying, Kieran's interview, they did 5 rounds, not 3.
So it would be one thing if production provided the shoes. It would be another if he just chose a crap pair of shoes that were slippery. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of that, if that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why the shoes came off. I guess was for that reason. I personally think, well, I can't even say like, oh, he should have been forced to have the shoes on, because there's been other eliminations where people's shoes were coming off and they just kicked them off and they stayed off till they finished the elim.
Right.
So
and
I
they
could see
reset at one point. They
had to have.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is if you're only going to show us 3 rounds and on TV you're going to only tell us there's 3 rounds, then why the fuck are you making them do 5?
Right. Right, exactly. Just show it all. I mean, you got an hour and a half. I'm sure there's stuff you cut out that we didn't need to see.
Or here's an idea, just make them do 3.
They should have shown him throwing that fit that everybody's saying that he did. Because him just standing there too, it just didn't make any sense, like at all. Just
Yeah.
standing, like I didn't understand why he was doing that.
And I
Because
don't know if it was the editing, but if you notice, at one point he's running up the hill, the platform, and he has the shoes on, and then he's going to touch the button, and you see he's not wearing the shoes anymore.
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And that's
So I'm
all
like,
during
why
the
are you-
same round.
Yeah, it's not the same round at all. So why are you
No.
showing it like that?
Well,
Shitty
was it
production. I bet you they didn't catch it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Wasn't it Nerese that came out and said, "Look, nobody saw the whole thing. Jordan won fair and square." Like
everybody's tearing her up on Twitter.
yeah,
They are tearing her up.
I'm
'Cause I
sure
think-
he won fair and square, and I don't think Kieran's saying he didn't win fair and square, but like, I guess something that I read or I heard was something like the rules weren't clear. And I don't know if that's like a complaint because Jordan thought outside the box and figured like, hey, wait a minute, we don't have to run ourselves ragged
just stay there until right before the light.
because they didn't
Right.
say you got to keep hitting all the lights. It was just how many lights can you hit, and if you just stood there for a while without hitting it, ideally that light will just stay on until you hit the button. But then apparently, according to Kieran in a different podcast interview, he said the light stayed on when Jordan was in front of it, but when he tried to do the same thing, the light went out on its own, and he hadn't touched it.
Interesting.
So that's the scandal that we are getting this season so far
Well,
about
you know
production.
what? Every season, there's always
Always something.
who was it rigged for? This is this one.
I remember
Was it
we had
rigged
that
for?
debate when it was, I think, Total Madness, and it was the daily that Bananas won, where he was like standing
Yes.
outside and he was
He
looking.
could see the colors without
Oh,
being
you can see
inside
the
phone.
colors changing. Yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
it's like that. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he took advantage of a loophole that they didn't know was there.
Right. I feel like that wasn't, yeah. He figured something out that nobody else did. And yeah, I don't know.
So here's my question then. Him not wearing the shoes and still winning, does that make it more impressive or less, given what we know that it went to 5 rounds and Kieran actually did pretty good and stuff like that? Does it make it more impressive that Jordan won? Or should we be
Yes.
questioning it because of how it played out?
I think it's more impressive because I would imagine it would be way more slippery in those socks, especially
In
if you're
socks?
sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's Jordan. It's
Well, I was
always
just gonna
impressive.
say,
you know?
I mean, it's impressive with Jordan, period, because he's so good. I mean, you know,
Because to me,
I will-
if we were gonna rig it, it's like Jordan didn't need it to be rigged for him, at least from my perspective.
yeah.
Whereas if it was somebody like, who's a good example? Let's say Wes, right? Like Wes, we saw him on Challenge USA, and you saw how everything played out even with him. Like I think he was supposed to be out before that elimination where he got eliminated, and yet they still said he won. And even he was surprised by it. I don't
Yeah.
remember who he faced in that one, but
Dusty.
right, that's who it was. And yeah, even that one, I'm like, did he actually win that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? But this one, no matter how the edit went, it looked like Jordan still won. But it would have been
Yeah.
nice to see the full thing.
Yeah. Or at least know the full results. Like,
Yeah.
did Kieran win more than one round? You know, how close was it really?
I will say this, throughout the whole thing, it looked like Kieran was deer in the headlights. He looked
Out of breath.
shook.
Yeah.
He's like, there was
I-
a moment of like,
This is Jordan. Okay, this is
Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
This is what Raven was trying to tell you earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I
and then
still
he's
think
probably
And the
Kieran
like,
thing
did
is,
good, though.
they're very evenly, like, they looked similar in height and build, and you know they're both athletic, but Jordan just has that
he has that he has that
thing.
endurance because he
he
just
has that thing
constantly
where he wins,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think he has better endurance than Kieran did, you know. Plus again, I think Kieran was caught off guard. He wasn't expecting to not go against Asif. He wasn't also then
Right.
expecting to go against Jordan, whom he finds out is a 4-time champion, has
Right.
won 4 out of 8 fucking finals or 6 finals that he's been to. Like, that's a hell of a winning percentage. And then God, whatever his freaking elimination record is.
And that's why Emmanuel turning his back, he should be up there going, all right, dude, more power to you. You're a legend in the game. But no, he's going to turn his back like a freaking clown. I can't stand that guy.
Listen. All right.
It was funny.
That moment made me laugh.
Ugh.
Okay.
I cringed because I don't like
But-
him.
But here's the thing. We've seen somebody act cocky like that in the past. Take a guess who that might be.
Cocky like
Like when
Emmanuel or like Jordan? Because Jordan
all
was
of
over the
them.
top being Jordan,
it's
which is
definitely
ridiculous.
that's the
he
thing.
needs-
We saw it in the episode, right? On Free
It
Agent.
reeks of Jordan.
It's Jordan. And what's
It
funny,
does.
it's
But
funny.
I like Jordan. I don't like Emmanuel.
Yeah, but this is
That's
what's
the
funny about it.
difference.
Emmanuel, it's almost like Emmanuel's trying to be like Jordan. And I remember when they were
Mhm.
doing like the previews and stuff, like those videos the challenge always puts up before the season starts,
Mhm.
right? I remember that one where they were talking about, oh, who do you consider to be like the challenge like GOAT or something like that, like in your opinion? And Jason said something like it was Landon, right? And I'm like, cool. And I remember Emmanuel, when he was asked, he said Jordan, right? Which made me laugh watching last night's episode because I'm like, oh, so you think he's the GOAT. You want to model your game after his game. And now
I
you're
think
doing all this.
Yeah, I think he admires Jordan and what he's done on the show. I think, and look, there is some similarities when it comes to just natural talent for this kind of thing.
Right.
Between the two of them. Emmanuel's personality is a lot less polarizing, thank God, because we don't need any more of that. But yeah, so obviously Kieran lost. He cried a lot. We all felt really I felt really
felt
bad
bad
for
for him.
him.
I told y'all earlier, I can't stand to see men cry, and especially like a hot dude. He's hot, and he was crying so bad.
I felt so bad for him, and
I
then
did too.
Jordan gives his little speech. TJ's like, does anybody else have anything they want to say? And of course, Emmanuel's got his back to Jordan, the speech the whole time. And he turns around and goes, I would love to see you in elimination one day. And Jordan's like, you could have came down here.
You could have come down here.
And Emmanuel was like,
Emmanuel almost had the deer in the headlights look at that point because he was like,
well, I could. Which again, maybe Jordan would have picked Emmanuel if he would have gotten Champ's Choice. Like, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy what he wants.
Would you think it would have been
That would have
because of
been
Tori?
good. That would have come down real close too, I think.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been a good one too.
Because of Tori, I think, low key. But
I think that's part of it. And I'm sure Jordan knows everybody called Emmanuel wish version Jordan.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
From a couple seasons ago. I'm sure everybody knows that. So Jordan goes home with $10,000 from the winning pot. Everybody else is like, bye, Kieran.
buy money.
Buy money.
Buy money.
Are we going to get a chance to get any more back? Probably not, because we lost the first two. And then I caught a little bit of next week's previews. It looks like it's like a mud wrestling.
Oh
Yeah.
You see Nerys just popping off on somebody in the middle of the daily. I couldn't tell who it was though.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who it was. I couldn't tell.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
Olivia
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if it was Olivia.
Oh, maybe.
for their friendship breaking.
Oh,
I've already seen the cracks start.
yep.
And obviously it
Interesting.
will be, I assume, a female champ next week. I'm gonna guess it's either Casey or Tori.
So over Tori, and she hadn't even been on.
But that's what's
Probably
bad.
Casey. Because we have four female champs and 4 male champs, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think.
Is it, or is it 3 and 3? No, it's gotta be more than that.
It has to be 4, right?
Jordan.
Yeah, because Laurel.
Oh, that's
Cara,
right. I forgot about Laurel.
Casey,
Okay, so
and
Laurel, Cara, Casey, Tori.
yeah,
The men was Jordan,
CT, Jordan.
Brad,
Well,
and Darrell. Okay.
Darrell. Yeah, Brad and Darrell. Yeah.
I don't know why they bring Darrell. I love Darrell, but Darrell ain't won shit in forever. I don't know
hey,
why they keep
hey, he
bringing him.
won
I
4 in a
love
row.
Darrell. I love
Respect it.
him, but
Respect
it's
it. He won 4 in a
true.
row.
And again, come on now.
He won 4 in a
He's-
row. I'm always gonna
4 in a row,
represent him.
20 years
4 in a
ago.
row.
Like,
Put some respect on that man's name.
Isn't
Thank
he
you.
I
How
love
old is
Darrell.
he now?
But when
How
was
old
the
is he?
last time he won an elimination?
Listen, he won 4
Here's
seasons
the
in a
thing,
row.
though.
No one else has done it. Come on.
Even
you
if he
can't take that
doesn't
away.
win, he's still making money.
And
Oh, I
isn't he
know.
on All Stars
So-
4 too? Right?
What's
Isn't
that?
isn't he on All Stars 4?
I hope. Oh yeah.
Is
Was
he
it?
on 4?
And isn't Brad too on All Stars 4? Or no?
think
I
they
don't
are.
remember any of the guys.
God,
I only
you
cared
know,
about the women.
It's been so long, I don't
Because-
remember who all's in that cast.
I was thinking maybe they put him on there to like, get us
Oh,
ready
like,
for All Stars 4.
Segue into
Like remember him and then because
How-
also
how-
He was on
how old
Champions.
how old is Darrell now?
Hmm.
Like he's in his 40s, yeah.
Probably, at least. Yeah. Yeah, no.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm
he's
sure
going up against these 20-somethings.
these young kids.
So mad
Hmm.
props to Darrell and CT for that matter.
Oh,
you.
well, CT is just another
He's on
he's
another
just a
level. than
specimen on
everyone
another
else,
level. Like, can't
Period.
even Jordan aspires to be on
Period.
that level.
That's right.
All right. Anything else that we would like to add about this week's episode or any tea behind the scenes stuff we've learned? I think the elimination thing was the only thing.
Yeah, that was the
I
biggest
don't
thing.
remember anything else. Yeah.
I will add though. I don't know if you've noticed for all 5 of these episodes, it's either we like the elimination or we like the daily, but for some reason it's not both.
Hmm.
And I don't get why. What's going on?
Whomever they have as the creative geniuses on production, the same people who weren't like, maybe we shouldn't show Jordan's yellow fucking shoes because they disappear halfway through the elimination and it's kind of fucking obvious.
It's almost like they're fucking with us. They're like, "Oh, are the fans gonna
How
notice?"
much can we get past
Or
that?
this
They're
in there?
trying to get us something to talk about to get the ratings up. That's probably what
That's,
it is.
that's probably you probably
What?
nailed it right
I don't
there.
understand. The only reason I could think that the ratings are actually low is that there's just burnout.
Yeah, or a lot of it too. It could be that it's because it's on MTV instead of like
Yeah.
Paramount, where people can watch it whenever with no commercials.
That's true.
True.
You know,
I don't know why
I-
they don't put it on
I
CBS
forgot
too.
today when I went to watch the episode. I went to Paramount and I was like, "Why am I not seeing this on?"
I
was
wish it
like,
was on Paramount so I could watch them curse freely.
right.
My favorite. It's my favorite. Well, I'm excited for next week's episode and see what
Yeah, same.
happens. Hopefully there's some more drama.
Hopefully,
Well, there
Exciting.
should be like with the previews of the elimination, so I'm sure there will be.
Oh, I hope
Hopefully
so.
they show it.
Well, we
Yeah.
know
But
the
I'm
episode that Tori shows up. She makes some comments towards Mariah. I
whatever.
wonder.
Oh, one other thing. It was Jay again. It's when he mentioned that he doesn't want to be the poorest challenge champion.
Oh yeah. I don't want to be the poorest
Brilliant.
challenge champion in history.
And I was just like, oh, you don't have to
I'm like,
worry about
sir,
that.
they used to
There's
compete.
Hunter.
Yeah, there's Hunter. There's also the first few challenge winners who won like a PlayStation and a cell phone.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they would win. They'd be like, "Oh, you
They
won
won
this
food.
bike or whatever."
They won Burger King for life.
Right.
And a Vespa scooter.
Michelle and Jay have been dominating the confessionals, I think.
Who?
Yeah,
Michelle and
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah.
and throwing some Ed and Big T.
Yeah.
I love Ed.
I do too.
I feel like he should be he should be like a professional wrestler because that's how he
Oh my
sounds,
God, he should.
right?
do it.
That's how he
really
sounds
wants to.
like a wrestler.
He would be awesome.
I don't even
That's
like
Mark.
wrestling, and I would watch Ed.
Same.
Mark
I
about
don't-
it.
I watch wrestling when it's like big shows because my cousins have parties. They invite me over, and I go because I eat edibles. It makes it far more entertaining. And of course, because I love The Miz, and then I love Rhea Ripley or whatever her name is.
Oh, she's
Don't know who any of
like
those
she
people are.
makes me question my choices.
Well, I watched Celebrity Jeopardy last night, and there was a
Ooh.
female wrestler on there from Ireland.
Oh yes, Becky Lynch.
That was her name. She was
yeah.
terrible.
I know who she is.
She was down like negative $1,200
Oh
at one
God.
point. They ended up just
Yeah.
giving her money to go to her charity because she was so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you could tell. I'm a wrestling guy, so
We know. We can always count on you.
exactly.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. If you're not already following us on Instagram, we are The Challenge Unbothered. On YouTube, The Unbothered Podcast. We are The Unbothered Podcast on the streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple. If you want to join our Facebook group, which, by the way, is filled with spoilers and all the up-to-date tea, so don't come joining and then complaining because we'll kick you out. The Challenge Unbothered. We have non-challenge groups such as Entertainment Unbothered, Cooking Unbothered, and Animal Memes Unbothered. So give us a join, a like, a follow, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.